We will rock you. Boom, boom. Sing it. Okay. All right, welcome back to Aaron Today, episode 13. We're in it.
We're in it to win it.
In it. Let's see. So, as usual, we want to start off with a quote. Quote of the day is about gratitude, as is the episode. So, gratitude quote we have for the day goes: Gratitude opens the door to the power, the wisdom, the creativity of the universe. You open the door through gratitude. I mean, it kind of forces you to stop and think about it for a second.
Yep.
I mean, as far as like, when I hear gratitude, I always think of the story about like the grass is greener on the other side. Everybody's kind of heard that. But to me, it's kind of, I look at it as like if I'm, say I'm looking at some other dude, he's got, $1 million, he's got Ferrari, all these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be like, man, I kind of wish I had those things,
Yep.
Whenever I do that, I also think, well, somebody else is looking at me and what I have and saying, man, I wish I could have that. So it's just it kind of forces you to be grateful for what you have in the moment, no matter where you are in life.
Oh, absolutely.
So
Just all together, like where we are, I think we're absolutely fortunate being here in America, living in America. We don't have to live in a third world country where there's guerrilla warfare is going on.
Yeah.
And
you got 12-year-olds fighting in armies and stuff. Yeah.
Right. And you're here in America where you get to live your daily life, and you don't have to worry about somebody sneaking into your house in the middle of the night, some soldiers, and just taking out your family or anything like that. You are here living in arguably the greatest country in the world.
I mean, yeah, we have our faults, but for sure, dude, like, we don't really have to worry about that much.
Yeah.
It could always be worse.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's why, being grateful and having gratitude for the things you have, the people around you in your life and everything is so important. So important, in fact, I think, people have even done studies on it, right?
Yep, absolutely. So there was a study actually done by Dr. Robert Emmons from University of California, Davis, along with his colleague Mike McCullough from University of Miami. They recruited a group of people, and they divide them all into 3 different groups. So the first group, they tasked them to keep a short journal, just 5 things that they were grateful for within that week that happened to them. The second group, they tasked them to journal with 5 hassles they came across during the week that displeased them.
Okay.
And the third group, they told them it's a neutral group, so the doctors told them to journal things that happened to them, whether it's positive or negative, doesn't matter. They did the study for 10 weeks, and they checked back on all the participants. So the participants in the gratitude group, they recorded a full 25% happier than the participant in the hassle group.
Mm-hmm.
They reported fewer health complaints than the other 2 groups, and they exercised an average of 1.5 hours more than the other 2 groups. So that goes to show you how important it is to be grateful about the things that happen to you in your daily life, everything that you come across in your daily life.
Right.
But off of the study, I mean, the big thing is that the people who practice gratitude daily, they feel more compassionate and kind towards other people. They report to have a higher immune system than all the other ones. And so this is it's a bigger picture that gratitude plays such a big role in leading a positive life.
Like you said, being thankful for that warm blanket at nighttime or something.
Anything, yeah.
Something really small. Sometimes whenever, I go to the checkout or something and And I just try to make eye contact with whoever it is. You know,
Mm.
I don't want to be down on my phone because then they just like, well, don't care, like move on, you know. So just kind of creates that connection and just be like, hey man, thank you, like I appreciate you.
Yeah.
You know, just something very small even makes a difference not only in your life but somebody else's life, which is cool and fun, you know, and makes you feel good
Yeah.
too. So
And I'm glad that you mentioned that, because these are the different avenues that you can actually exercise your gratitude in your day-to-day life. So I mean, some of the things that you talk about, making eye contact and internally just say thank you to somebody,
hmm
and that comes a long way.
yeah,
I think one of the big things that I do is just meditation.
okay.
That's one of the things that I do is meditation.
So when you're meditating and you're doing it for purposes of gratitude,
Hmm.
what does that look like?
Well, first, generally meditation is about the same, right? It's about being present. Then you
Mhm.
go in your body and you start visualizing. You start exercising your vision as you close your eyes. Then a couple of the triggers, a couple of the guides that they give you is think about while you're meditating is think about things, think about people, think about animals that you're grateful for.
hmm
Think about the events that happen to you that you're grateful for. And you kind of start rewinding all these things. Then you kind of start picturing for people that you're grateful for, whether it's family members, friends, roommates, anybody. And just, and you literally just say thank you. And it changes your whole day. It changes your outlook. Your day gets
hmm
so much better. You went from frustrated with things to now I'm entering a Zen stage. A couple of things that I'm sure people will get value out of is obviously we talked about the importance of gratitude backed by science, backed by studies.
hmm
Now we've also dove in a little bit into the how do we practice gratitude.
hmm
So other than you being present and saying thank you internally whenever you're in your daily activities, what else do you do to practice your gratitude?
Um, personally, I have a journal that I will log certain things in.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have to be very long. Could be a sentence or two, or maybe it'll turn to a full page. You know, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But just write down whatever comes to mind that you're thankful for, and try to make it something as positive as you can. Like in the study,
Yeah.
you had that group that was 25% happier, healthier. They were writing down positive things. You know, if you write down like where your problems are, then your mind's going to continue thinking that way.
Yeah.
You know, so
Great.
that's probably another one of the things that comes to my mind.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What about you?
One of the things that also is always neat is having a mason jar, and
Mm.
then obviously wrap up little pieces of paper, and just like write one thing you're thankful for that day.
Just like one little sentence.
Yeah, and some event maybe. I don't know. Maybe yesterday you ran into a friend that you didn't know or that you haven't seen in a while. Then you wrote down his or her name, put in a gratitude journal or a gratitude mason jar.
Yeah.
Keep that going, and then see at the end of the year you kind of circle back around, or you open that mason jar and you kind of start looking at it. Wow, there's a lot of things that happened this year that I
Mhm.
was just like absolutely grateful for. And honestly, the reason why gratitude is so important also, it's a neutralizer. It is impossible to feel depressed and grateful at the same time.
hmm
It is impossible to feel angry and grateful at the same time. And any negative feelings, any down feelings that you may have, it gets neutralized once you start thinking about things that you're grateful for.
hmm
Any feel of lack or any feeling of neediness, you can neutralize that just by thinking about, okay, stop, what am I grateful for?
Right.
And those things, that in itself, an exercise of stopping the negative feeling and start recalling things that you're grateful for, that in itself is a powerful thing. And one last thing, and this is the one last exercise that is important, is the opposite of gratitude. So, for example, you meet up with a friend, then you start thinking, well, what if this is the last time that I see him? What if he's gonna get in a car and there's a tragic car accident that's gonna happen to him?
Yeah. I mean, God forbid, but yeah.
Yeah, and this is just absolutely the last time I'll see him. It naturally forces you to be there, to be grateful for that person. be grateful for that exact moment.
Sure. So that's sort of like a little hack in order to be grateful for that person and that moment.
Yep, exactly.
All right.
And then also, and you can also shift the focus around. Instead of that person, shift that on you. What if tomorrow you go to a doctor and doctor somehow tells you, hey man, you've been carrying cancer the last XYZ months, and I don't know why you didn't come see me sooner, so I don't think you have very much to live, or very much longer to live.
Yeah.
And that automatically just shifts that. While it's morbid, I get it. People don't like to hear that, but it's the exercise that brings you back to reality, brings you back to this moment, brings you back to be grateful for all the things that you have.
Right.
So,
just to recap on some of the how-tos or little hacks, little things you can do starting now, starting today, moving forward, just to solidify your gratefulness for the
for everything.
for everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So some of the hacks that you can do are finding something different every single day to be thankful for and writing it down, or write in a journal at least 5 times a week, or kind of practice if you're with a friend, or maybe practice that opposite of gratitude scenario where it's a worst case scenario in order to affirm the being grateful in the moment. So there's just a few of the little tricks, tips from us that you can start now. Other than that, we want to say thank you for joining us on this journey of gratitude. Please click subscribe, comment, share with your friends, your dogs, everybody,
Cats.
anybody.
Cat in the alley.
Yeah, the alley cat. But no, we'll see you next week. Thank you.